Hey there, this is Dr. Claw introducing you to the Avatar assignment for British literature. One of the first things you're going to want to do as you listen to this video and try to learn more about the project is scroll down to the Avatar project link on our class homepage. This will take you to a page that has an overview of what the project is, along with some tools for embarking on your first post. So basically, the Avatar project is an opportunity for you to visualize the type of bodies that we are looking at in our text throughout the term. And we do this because as we read, sometimes it can be easy to not visualize the bodies of the characters we're talking about. And by giving them some kind of visual form, giving these characters actual bodies, so avatars, we can learn something about how the texts use bodies in general, or these particular types of bodies, to communicate with their audiences. And it can often flesh out, pardon the pun there, your understanding of the way that these authors are communicating about their characters. So how this project works is you will set up a website, a free website. Nothing you do in this project should cost you money. Free website using one of the links at the bottom of this page. And your first post will be your original avatar. So this is going to be some kind of body that doesn't really stand out at you in any particular way. It seems sort of like a blank canvas kind of body. And generally we do cartoon avatars, although I have had students do an image of themselves as the kind of base avatar, which can add a whole new dimension to the project. Anyway, so your subsequent post will involve you modifying that original avatar to resemble the type of bodies in the text that we've been reading. So at the end of the supernatural unit, you will create a supernatural body out of your avatar. At the end of the female bodies unit, you will create a female body out of your original avatar. Same thing with the punished bodies and the monstrous bodies. Each time that you do that, you'll be modifying your original avatar, and you will then write a short reflection, somewhere between 100 and 250 words, on how changing the body of the avatar made you think about the text you used as an inspiration. Now, that's not the only part of the reflection that's required, and if you go to the assignment in Canvas, which we'll look at shortly, you'll see the rubric details exactly what I want from you, as do the assignment instructions. So to create these modifications, I have traditionally asked students to use Adobe Photoshop. It's free for you as Clemson students. It's a good skill to have to be able to use it, but I know that it can be very frustrating as well. So this time I am opening this project up to any kind of visual medium that you want. So you could even paint your avatars throughout the term. That would be more complicated because you would need 5 copies of the same painting, because you can't paint over the modified avatars. You have to do the original avatars, but you can use any kind of visual medium that you want. You could take photographs, you could make some kind of almost like a paper doll, where you've got your avatar and then you cut out accessories to go on it or something like that and take a photograph of that. So I am opening this up for you to get as creative as you want. The core idea is that you are modifying your avatar's bodies in order to make them look like the types of bodies that we have been reading about. So anyway, definitely contact me about any particular creative interpretation you want to make. If you're concerned about that, or you have an idea and you're not sure how to make it work, I'm happy to chat with you about that. At the end of the term, you're going to write a conclusion post that's different from the other ones. The conclusion post doesn't have an image associated with it necessarily, although you're welcome to include one if you want. Basically, I want you to think about how the process of modifying your avatar for each unit has affected your understanding of how bodies can communicate. So this is sort of an overarching look at the theme of our class, and I think you'll find that your perspective of how authors are using bodies has changed quite a bit by the time we get to this conclusion post. And then I ask you to do some comparisons. So what was it like doing modifications for supernatural bodies versus female bodies, for example? What made some of the modifications easier and some of them harder? And when you look at your project as a whole, what kinds of conclusions can you draw about how texts use bodies to communicate? So basically, this project is going to give you a digital portfolio of academic work, which can be very useful. This is the type of thing that's wonderful to put on LinkedIn because it shows that you have digital skills. It shows that you have writing skills. And it shows a whole project from start to finish, and it shows your ability to think in terms of detail and think in terms of big picture ideas. So it's a really useful kind of resource to have as you start applying for internships and jobs and that sort of thing. I have some links here to help you get started. So these are avatar creators, although I think this one might be defunct now. I think as long as your flash is turned on, this one might work. And then there are a few more here. And then for the free websites, my main request is that you don't use Tumblr or any kind of website that requires someone to be a member of that website in order to view the post. So the idea is that when you post your link to your website, that I and all of your classmates can click on it and see immediately your post about that unit's avatar. So, and all of these are free websites. So as I said, don't spend money on this. Okay, now for some details about the assignment, hop over to the assignments page. You can also find this under the discussions page. So if you go to assignments, you'll find AC1 is coming up soon. So that's Avatar Component 1. This gives you instructions for doing the blank canvas kind of avatar. And remember, you want to save it and not save over it. So always create a copy of that. We'll go back to discussions, because the other components are different. So basically AC1 and AC6 are slightly different. AC2 through 5 are the exact same. So we're going to have a look at 2 real quick. So as always, you'll use your original avatar photo as your base image. And then you'll use Adobe Photoshop or whatever other visual medium you want to modify that original avatar photo so that it exhibits features of the supernatural bodies from a text or text in the unit. So what you want to do now is show the rubric, because you want to know precisely what I'm looking for. So there are a few criteria. Modification. So a fully successful post will have at least 3 modifications to the avatar's body, and these need to be visible to the naked eye. So I'm not looking for conceptual changes necessarily, and you can change the background, but that does not count as one of your 3 body modifications. I'm going to be looking at the reflection. So have you thought through what changing the avatar has done to your understanding of bodies in this unit, and how did making those changes affect your understanding? And then we have presentation, which is thinking through how you can help the audience understand more fully the post, so your reflection and the avatar itself. So this is thinking about things like background, even font use, that sort of thing. And then posting, this is an either you get the credit or you don't get the credit kind of thing. You have to be able to link your blog to the correct discussion forum on Canvas. If you link to the dashboard of your blog, which happens a lot more than you would think. So if you think you're not doing it, just verify by sending that link to someone else, having them open it. Or if you post your whole post, you know, like the image and the reflection directly onto the discussion board, that's not what I'm looking for either. So I'm asking that you actually have a link to your website. And again, this is so that you have a whole coherent project that you can send to people after this class is done. If you're posting a bunch of stuff on the discussion board in our class Canvas, nobody's ever going to be able to see that. And so I will appreciate your work and your classmates will appreciate your work, but you don't get the same opportunity to show it off. So those are the criteria that I'm looking for in the main posts. Now, as I mentioned, the discussion or the component 6 is slightly different. So we'll just pop down there and I'll show you some of the requirements there. So it's a longer reflection, and you'll be thinking about your work over the term as a whole. And then, oh, I need to add the rubric. So once you have a look at this, there will be a rubric there that is the conclusion post rubric. So that will walk you through exactly what I'm looking for. And that is the Avatar project. So please let me know if you have any questions.